What's going on, everybody? Check out this clip from the Pre-Patch Podcast.
All of us have been, not all of us, myself and Sinan played it a little bit. Did you play too much of it, or did you only
I've
log in for a
dabbled in
little
it,
while?
but I don't know,
Yeah.
man. No, it's
So
me.
this
It's
this
an
is
issue.
we've talked about this in the past. So this is Ascension WoW. If you guys don't know what Ascension WoW is, Ascension WoW is a private server. It's a classless server. So by that, I mean you don't have classes. So there's no hunter, there's no paladin, there's no rogue, etc., etc., etc. Right? The skills are still in the game, but they make it so that you can basically take those skills and make your own class out of all those skills. So you just get an ability given to you. Essentially, it's in this wild card situation. It's randomly given to you, so it's all RNG as to what you get. You can completely be screwed over by RNG, or you can completely be a boss and completely overpowered because of RNG. It's just really up to what your luck is, right? So they released a new season. We talked about this a little bit before we went on break when we were talking about hardcore WoW, and I finally got my hands on it. I've been putting a lot of hours into this, a lot of hours. Not as many as some of my friends. We talked about it a little bit. One of my friends has re-rolled like 400 times or some shit like that for abilities.
gosh.
So it's yeah, he found out today or yesterday that the ability scroll re-rolls, you can only get 400 of them before you get like limited as to how many you can purchase with ascension points. And then
Wow.
then after that you have to get the re-roll scrolls through doing like open world questing, PvP, dungeons, etc., etc. So you have to get them through other avenues rather than just purchasing them with ascension points. But I mean, it's 400 rolls. Like Jesus Christ, man, you settle down. Come on. Oh my God.
Oh my God.
Oh my God.
But Ascension WoW, like I said, is a classless WoW. The wild card system is completely you level from 1 to 60 with completely random abilities. And it's got completely customized abilities as well, which is kind of, I think, their biggest like draw when it came to like why it's so popular right now, is because we talked about Season of Discovery prior to this releasing. Season of Discovery is not doing that well right now, just simply because of how little content there is
What
right
do you
now.
mean,
It's
dude? That
locked
game is popping with players right now.
It's popping with bots. I wouldn't say
player
players.
base is huge.
I wouldn't say player base. I would say bot base for sure. Yeah, 100%.
Definitely a bot base, bro.
But so SOD Season of Discovery is kind of the same. It's not a classless WoW, but it's like they have certain quote unquote, you can't see it, but I'm doing air quotes again, customized abilities and such. Not as many as Ascension though. Like Ascension has, I think, 1,500 custom abilities, pretty much, like, or 1,500 abilities in general. A lot of those are customized, and they have like different effects and everything like that. So it's crazy, man. If you guys, I will 100% say, I'll be the first one to say that, like, it is very confusing. It's very daunting, and I think that's probably why Sin probably dropped out, right?
It's just
It was still really daunting,
man. Like,
yeah.
it's still like I'm watching this trailer and just going, God, fuck, dude, this is like so much fun and all of it, but
This is like some PoE level stuff. Like,
fuck,
Yeah,
dude,
it is. Honestly, it is 100%. Like, I would equate this to like the PoE of WoW for sure.
mhm.
Like it is very daunting, and it's even more daunting with the Season of Discovery, because if you just saw that, like, the original customized abilities, they used to be in like one single ability. So like you would get something like hoplite training, which was a skill that gave you the ability to have a pole arm and a shield. So you could have a two-handed pole arm and a shield, right? But inside of that ability, it also had like shield training, it also had pole arm training, two-handed training, it had a bunch of other custom like uh damage mitigation, everything like that. They've now separated all of those out from that hoplite training and made them their own things. So now you have 6 abilities that were in one ability, now each individually in their own ability. So you have to kind of, it's a lot, man. It is I'll be the first one to say, yeah, it's a lot. But like, if you get into it and you actually put the time into it, it's not terribly difficult to wrap your head around. If you just kind of like focus on one build, get that figured out, prestige it, get to 60, prestige it, and then you continuously take it one step at a time, one build at a time. It's a lot easier rather than like, oh my god, I have 1,500 abilities that I have to figure out what they do. No, don't do that because you're just gonna burn yourself out.
Well, I think even just starting from like wanting to like there's a couple gripes that I have with it. One, I will say this about WoW, regular like retail classic, whatever you want to call it. Like their UI, their user experience, that is there's something very just clean feeling about it. Though, and I'm watching the video and I'm like, some of this stuff, like some of this shit, like you have to like go into certain settings, turn off everything to like make it look like retail WoW or classic. Because that was one, and I know it's something stupid, but like there is a lot of like fucking like hotbars, things here that pop up on my screen. I'm like, holy fuck, man, how do I get some of this shit to go away so I can just like, figure out what I'm wanting to do or whatever. That's a very small, very me gripe. The biggest thing I had was just like figuring out, like, even with the wild card system being like, okay, I want to be a rogue, but I want to have this ability, but then I want to have like this ability, and just like picking my first three abilities, I'm like, fuck,
Yeah,
dude.
that's the whole thing. So like when it comes down to that, I understand that because it took me a little bit of time to figure out what the hell was going on. Because they don't really tell you anything, right? Like they just kind of throw you into the world and say, here's 4 abilities, figure the fuck out, right? Um, they never really told you the fact that like the starter abilities, there's an ability or there's a thing inside of the game that you can actually tell it, hey, I want these starting abilities, these ones specifically. So if you could roll these for me while I'm rolling in my starting abilities, that would be great. And generally speaking, if you plug those abilities into the card system, you'll get them right off the bat, more or less. So there's certain instances of like information that wasn't really provided and information that had to be gained through actually like playing the game and everything like that. But no, I will 100% agree with you that it can be very daunting and very confusing, like when you first get into it if you've never actually like played Ascension in general, right?
Yeah.
Granted, they have all new things going on right now. So you've got the Mana Storm, which is really cool. I actually quite enjoy the Mana Storm. The Mana Storm is just like an endless dungeon. It's kind of like a what's the word I'm looking for?
Like a roguelike horde mode, right?
Like yeah, like a roguelike. Yeah, like a roguelike dungeon where it teleports you into a dungeon, you kill the boss, and then you teleport to a new dungeon, and you have to clear up to the boss and kill the boss, and then you teleport to a new dungeon, right? So in every like 5 to 10 levels, you get like a save point that you can continue, you can like exit out, sell all the mass amounts of shit that you get, because like you get a lot of crap. Like I don't know how people play this game without the bags, like the 22 slot bags, full 22 slot bags. It's crazy. I don't know how you do that. So it's a difficult one, but yeah, I don't know. It's not for everybody. I think sod kind of does it better when it comes down to like simplicity, but then again, I look at it like, again, Season of Discovery, they don't really got anything going for them right now. Like
No.
everybody's done with it. You
I mean,
know, that's the
we
biggest
get
problem that we have is
the
like
8th, I think, is when the new February 8th is
I
whenever
think
the new
so. Yeah.
content comes.
But even that new content, we're locked to 40. So it's
Yeah.
like they
But at
they
least
gave
40's
us
got more dungeons
15
and more
extra
shit than
levels, you know?
25. So
Yeah. I don't know, man. It's to me, I feel in my eyes, this does what sod is doing
oh,
better
absolutely.
by like
Yeah.
a long shot.
100%.
And I enjoy this so much more. Granted, I'm probably gonna go back to sod and check out the new stuff, but it's a good time and it's free. So you can't really go wrong with that.
Yeah.
If you don't like the wild card, they do have another server that's like you can build your own build, but that's not
Even
updated
more
to the
daunting.
latest one. Yeah, that's not updated to the latest one, so that's the old version where everything was like cloistered into different abilities. So if you're looking for that, that might be a better one, but yeah, that can be even more daunting just because even with it all clustered into like one ability, there's still like 200 extra abilities in the game. So it's very daunting when it comes down to it. But if you wrap your head around it, get into it, try it out, I think you'll really enjoy it. I've been enjoying it quite a bit.
Yeah. I need to, I don't know. Maybe I just need to fucking push through the very beginning and get through it because I know that I would enjoy it, but Oh, cool. Well, there you go. Ascension. You can look it up, Project Ascension or ascension.gg, and go download that and take a look if you want to try it out. Hey, I hope you guys enjoyed the patch notes. And if you want to join us live, we stream every single Thursday at 10:30 p.m. Eastern here on YouTube as well as on Twitch. Also, if you miss a show, you can always catch us at anchor.fm/free patch podcast or wherever you listen to your podcast. Thank you, and I hope you enjoyed the show.